Have you ever been watching TV and suddenly mid-show, you get this idea? And this is not the, hey, you know what, I'll get to it tomorrow idea. This is a right now idea. And you think, I really don't want to get up from the couch. Well, now you don't have to. You can open the GitHub mobile app right there from the couch and put your squad team. What if your squad team never clocked out? What if at 2 a.m., when you wake up in the middle of the night, your squad was already working on issues? And what if you could check on them, redirect them, give them new work without ever touching your laptop or getting out of bed? Now, this is not hypothetical. That's what's happening on my machine right now. GitHub Copilot CLI just shipped remote session support. It is seriously groundbreaking. So let's jump over to my computer and set everything up. All right, so this is what they shipped. Remote control CLI sessions on the web. This includes the web and mobile. And it's in public preview right now. The second thing we're going to take a look at is Squad, which is an open source project made by Brady Gaster. The idea is that Squad can create a team for you. A team that can work on items throughout the day, throughout the night, whatever you tell it to. And the really powerful thing here is that now we can control it from the couch, from the bed, heck, from the toilet. I'm probably never going to leave there. So let's have a look at setting everything up. So let's pop into our PowerShell here and create a folder. Let's pop into that folder. And let's initialize a repo. Awesome. Now, this is not a Squad tutorial per se. I'm thinking that you already have Squad installed, and if you don't, you can always jump over to Brady's site and get all that information. But what we need to do here to get our Squad up and running is initialize Squad. There we go. So now it's going to set everything up for us. Next up, we are going to control our Squad through GitHub Copilot. So let's start with Copilot. It's actually suggesting some things for us. We want to use the Squad agent and we want to use YOLO. Basically, don't ask me for every single thing that you want to do. Just do it. We're going to be fine. Now, on top of that, we need to add remote. So this enables us to remote into our session. We need one more thing because I also want to be able to do some long-running tasks. So we need to enable experimental, and we'll come back to why in a second. There we go. We are starting up our GitHub Copilot. And as we can see here, just behind me here, we have Squad up here. So we know that we are actually running the agent Squad here. So now we can start doing things. Now, what I want to do is I want to push this repo to GitHub because right now we only have a local repo, right? Now, the really cool and nice thing about Copilot in general is that I can tell it to do things like that. I don't have to remember all these weird Git commands. I can just say, create a private repo, call it Squad Remote, like that. Let's rename it just a little bit here. There we go, and there we go. Something like that. That's good. Let's see what happens. And as you can see, I'm talking to the interface. Now, that is not part of GitHub Copilot. It's actually part of something called Whisperflow, which is a separate application that I'm using. And if you haven't tried it, there is an affiliate link inside of the show notes below. There we go. Done. Private repo created. Now, it's calling me Tony. That's a little bit weird, I guess, but At this point, it doesn't know who I am because I haven't connected it to my repo. But now, Engstrom Jimmy, squad remote, we got our repo. Perfect. Create a team for me. I want to create a Blazor application, so make sure that my team knows these things. I want a lead developer, I want a front-end developer, I want a back-end developer, and I also want a tester. I want my squad to be influenced by the Marvel Universe, and I want to make sure that Tony Stark is the lead developer, and I want the Hulk to be the tester. There we go. And this is one of the really nice things about Whisperflow, is that it's actually creating this nice list for me. Now, it doesn't matter for Copilot, but I kind of like how it understands what I'm actually saying. So let's run this and see what happens. It's going to take a couple of minutes to do this because it's hooking everything up. Now, it's translating everything I said to an instruction, saying, you know what? I think the user wants me to do this, 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 and that. So, which is really nice. So the team roster up here, it looks like Tony Stark is the lead developer. Peter Parker is a front-end developer. He's obviously a web developer, right? Natasha is the back-end developer. Hulk tester. Scribe, that's the one that is keeping everything in sync. And then we have Ralph, that is going to work with the queue, the backlog, keep everything alive, all of that stuff. Do you want to hire this team? Yes, this sounds awesome. Let's do that. So it's hooking everything up, getting everything ready, creating squad team files. And the power of squad is that it's keeping everything inside of the repo. It's going to create a .squad folder, and in that folder it's going to keep all that data. It's going to keep the data, who is the member of the team, what decisions has been made, what kind of things have we done since the last time, and all of that stuff is kept inside of the .squad file. So that means that if my colleague picks this up at any point in time, he or she is going to have all that information, all the information that I generated on my computer is going to be on theirs too. That's one of the really strong things about Squad. Right? The user confirmed. It did take a little bit of time. It's creating the team. It has created all these files, the team, the routing, who is taking care of what, the ceremonies, because we can have our team have daily meetings. We have decisions. So if I say, well, we're going to do this or that, that's a decision. I'm not going to go through all the files here, but as you can see here down here as well, Tony Stark has its own history and all of that stuff as well. We also have skills and logs and all of this stuff. So let's scroll down here. Let's see where we are. It's creating all of these files. There we go. So try Tony Stark set up the Blazor project structure. And it's grasping, well, I said we were doing a Blazor project, and it's getting that information out there as well. Now, this is not really part of the video. I'm here to show you the remote access. But let's just quickly say, Tony Stark set up the Blazor project structure. Use web app and just leave it as default. Something like that. And let Tony set everything up, because we're really just looking for something that we can check into our repo. It's setting everything up. It is checking who is Tony Stark, what is he supposed to do with this. It's spawning up. And the really cool and nice thing here is that Squad is going to decide whether or not it's only Tony that is needed for this project. Perhaps we need to bring in Peter or Natasha. Perhaps we want to have tests. And they can spawn out and create sub-agents for every single of these tasks. And it can run at the same time. In this case, let's see what it's doing. It's scaffolding the Blazor project. So probably we only need Tony for this for now. Tony Stark is scaffolding the Blazor web app in the background. I'll let you know when he's done. Cool. So I can pop in here and I can say tasks. There we go. Apparently, we have two Tony Starks working right now. So one is setting up the web app project structure, and one is scaffolding the Blaze web app project. I've actually never seen the same agent spin up twice, but I guess why not? All right, the project structure is ready. Now we don't need to run this. This is just for demo. It's reading Tony Stark's result. It's actually done. So I could, from here, just say, create a commit from this and push it to the repo. There we go. Now I don't have any branch security at this point. It is fine. It's going to push to main. If you do have that, it's going to create a PR instead. Everything is already committed. That's great. Just need to push. Perfect. Let's do that. Now it also says no remotes configured. I need to add a remote on push. Now I don't have to do that. I don't need to figure that out. It's just going to get that up and running because it knows that we had that remote. Do you want Peter Parker or Natasha to start on something? No, we don't need that just yet. So inside of here, we can jump in and we can say remote. And I'm going to start that again because I think I actually need to start it when I have a remote repository up and running. Let's see if that works. Now for me, this didn't show up directly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to restart my Copilot session here. There we go. Boom. And now if we pop into GitHub here and we go to my squad remote, you see that we have a new remote session. And if I click that one, this is an active connection directly to my computer. So let's do something like create a README file of the project we're working on. This is a demo of the new Copilot CLI remote feature using Squad. Something like that. Let's pop back to our remote here. There we go. You see, we got that request. So I was on github.com, added this request, and it's now working on my machine, on my current terminal, my current squad. So it's creating the thing that I asked it for. It's doing everything that we need to do. Hey, Tony is on it. Awesome. Can always trust Tony to do these things. We are on github.com. Wouldn't it be nice to kind of get this to work in the app as well? Now, in the app, at the time of recording this, there's actually no way of doing that unless you use the beta. And to use the beta, you can just jump into this blog post and all the way down here somewhere, you see that to get started on mobile, you can try the beta release on Google Play or iOS test flight. And if you jump back to github.com, you'll see that we have all the things here. We're starting up Tony. We have all this nice information in, I would argue, a nicer syntax than compared to the CLI. So it's really, really simple to get started here. Now, one of the problems that I've found that, to be fair, I've just been running this for hours at this point. Sometimes my computer goes to sleep, and that's not good. So I want to keep my computer alive. And I can do that using an experimental feature. So we're going to go to experimental, going to take a look at those. And here you can see all the different experimental features. So persistent permission, session cleanup, all of these different things. And then we have this, keep alive. Now this is an experimental feature that keeps the session alive so that we can actually go somewhere else and the computer keeps on working. So we can go keep alive. Boom. So apparently I need to type it like this, keep alive. And on. There we go. So keep alive is enabled. So system sleep is now prevented. I no longer need to get up just to touch my computer and get it up and running again. I can now, at any point in time, just do all these nice things from the couch. Fantastic. I'm super excited about this, as you may hear from my voice. This is definitely going to be a game changer for Copilot. Remote sessions are in public preview. GitHub Mobile has a beta. You can join it for Google and for iOS as well. Links are in the description. Now, tell me, what would you have your squad working on at 3 a.m.? Drop it in the comments. And if you're new to all of this and you want to see how to set up squad and all of that stuff, Copilot tips and tricks, please follow this channel because there are more videos coming up. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one.